Welcome to Maya Hacks. I've got a scene with me. It is a scene which I've downloaded from 3drender.com. It's a kitchen room. So I just want to compose this and render it with the Vray lights. So firstly I would like to create a camera, and then I choose a focal length of 25 or 20 maybe. The reason I'm taking the less focal length is I just want a wide lens because this room is very small, and if I go to the extreme corner of the room, I can't really frame if I'm at the 35 mm focal length. So I need to reduce this so that I could see the maximum part of the room here. So once I frame this, I would like to select the camera and lock this so that I could avoid some accidental navigation. The next thing I would like to do is I would like to select every geometry here. I'm not selecting the cameras. I can do by blocking something related to the rendering, but I select it like this and I press Shift T so that I get assign new material window, and from this I would like to choose Vray material here, and then I've assigned the Vray material here, which is the defaultly okay with me. So I just choose the perspective 2 and by some reason I didn't like the fan model, the details, so I'm not keeping that model, and I would like to just test with some light, so I'll just create a Vray rectangle light, and then we have the size here, and then I'll just open the Vray shelf and open the Vray frame buffer. I choose the Vray software in the render settings window, and here also I can just click this button and say show Vray frame buffer, where I can get this Vray frame buffer. We have the IPR rendering, and I click that, and I can right click on this icon and then choose from which camera I want to render. So I'm choosing perspective 1, and I should get something like this. So I need to see what's wrong with the render. So I select my camera and unlock this, and then just slightly move, and I could see I'm blocking myself within the wall, so I just move a little bit forward, and let's stop that here, and I remove this light. I select the camera and lock it. The next thing I would like to do is I would like to create a sunlight here. So open the render settings, and in the Vray section I need to see where it is exactly. Yeah, in the override section, in environment, you have this option called create sky, and we have option called create sun. What if I just leave this create sky like that and render this? So I'm getting nothing here. So what I do is I just create a light, which is a Vray rectangle light, and then I would like to put this here. So Vray lights should not be scaled. We have the size here in the attributes of the light. So if I just put a normal rectangle light and then render it, you see you're getting the light here from that source. But if I select that light and then just go down into the options section, we have sky portal, enable that, and then you get the light from the sky. But that sky is not controlled. So I just go here, and if you just see the sky, it's nothing there here. So I just put the sun. So this is the sun. I just open the outliner and we have the sun here. I just choose the perspective, and if you see here, I've got this light. I just pull that light here, and then what is that I'm trying to do is I'm making the direction of the sunlight controlled by this placement. This will tell the light comes from here and hits that place, and then if I move that way, I get, so I can switch on this, and you see when I move the light, I get this light here. So you got that nice blue light from the portal itself. The rectangle light which we have taken, and when we enabled this sky portal, this will take the skylight information, and that will turn into a skylight, and this will cut down on the sky dome, and it will only restrict to this, and it's a very efficient way to deal with windows, especially in Vray. So I'm duplicating this and I'm just putting this here like that. Okay, so I've put the lights from all the openings here. I just render it. So you see that all light hotel lights are casting the sky from all directions, and consider this as a kitchen on a penthouse or terrace, and completely opening. Um, Huge ventilation is coming from this, and yeah, it is pretty much convincing to what it should. I just play with this direction here, and, and I mm, move the light here. You see the overall color of the uh, area lights which I have placed here. Earlier this light was blue, now it is pretty much warm because I've just placed it down. And also what I prefer is I select the camera, and I just go here to the V-Ray section. First I don't have any V-Ray options in the camera, so I go to the attributes, V-Ray, enable physical camera, and in this physical camera I would like to, V-Ray attributes, I enable physical camera here like that, and just see this big picture what you got right now, and once I click this, you see the sky is completely now you can able to see it properly. Okay, so what if I select the sun? The best way to select the sun is click this button and you get this here. So I put the intensity to 2, I get much brighter light with this light. So it's pretty late evening now, so I just choose this light and slightly move. Yeah, this should be okay. Okay, so what I do is apart from this, okay, you can increase the intensity if you really want the high intense light. I would prefer to get into the render settings, and in the GI section just enable the GI, and then you get much more indirect lighting contribution. I could see the darkest corners also lit with this light now. And if you feel your room is the illumination is too dark, then select the camera there, and just go down to this options called F number, and film ISO. Shutter speed is 200, which is 1 by 200 part of a second. And if I make it 100, it is 1 by 100 part of second, which makes a scene a little bit brighter, because we have added camera and you feel the room is pretty dark. It is like handling camera and you got underexposure, and now you're making the brightness little bit go up. Okay, so you can do that, or you can also choose film ISO and raise that number, which is the film speed basically, and make your scene bright here. Okay, it's all how you handle the camera. So I feel shutter speed 100 is pretty much okay. I'll just get into the render settings. Yeah, we have two types of sampler, progressive and bucket. Right now you are seeing the progressive type, where initially when you click the button you see quickly some pixelated image, and slowly the pixels gap, which is in black color, will be filled layer upon layer, layer upon layer, and over a period of time you get that render completed. But if you choose mm, bucket, then you render this in buckets, which are small rectangular uh, square shaped areas. It renders part by part there. So I just click this button here, and then